Uh, I think this is on. I am Dalyn D. I found this phone in a parking lot. And I found out that I could record things with it. So, I'm here to tell you all today that this is the greatest movie I've seen in my life. It's called the Doctor Who 1996 movie. And it's about this guy named the Doctor. And he's really old. Like, currently I think in his 900s. Take that, Yoda. So anyways, it begins with people dying. Specifically, the Doctor's enemy, the Master. He's killed by robots that look like salt and pepper shakers. I was killed by a salt and pepper shaker once. I don't know how I came back to life. But anyways, the Doctor's currently in his 7th generation. And he's really, really old looking. So don't bring that up around him, but still. So, he locked the Master's remains in a chest with a big keyhole in it. I don't get how that stops him, but still. So, he goes and sits down and reads The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I owned a time machine once. It stranded me here. Please help me. I'm trapped. So anyways, he's reading The Time Machine, as I said, and listening to a record. Doctor, you could just go to the future and get an MP3 player. I suppose fine living, I guess. I don't know much about that. I live in the Lucky Charms box on the corner of Main and 3rd. Please don't come and attack it. Anyways. So everything starts messing up. The record player starts skipping. And a giant loud sound happens and the record player comes off the record or something and his tea spills. And he runs to where the Master's chest is, and guess what? The Master is alive! But wasn't he killed by robots? And for some reason he's this slug thing now? Explain it, movie! So anyways, the Doctor runs up to the main console of his machine, which is a time machine, by the way. It's called the TARDIS. And so it turns out that the Master Slug is messing around with the time machine, and now the time machine called the TARDIS has to land at 1999 Earth. Or 1996. It's really vague. But still. Anyways, it lands and the Master escapes. Do you know where it lands at? Right in the middle of a gang war. And the Doctor dies. The end. Just kidding, he doesn't die. That would be the stupidest ending ever. Anyways, he doesn't die. One of the gang war members takes him to an ambulance. And essentially, he's taken to a hospital. And so, they have to do surgery on him to save his life. And the Doctor's doctor, Grace, just came from the opera. So she's wearing a giant dress and listening to opera music. So anyway, she gets confused when they're trying to fix the problem. And the reason she gets confused is because the Doctor has a different binary system, or whatever. The body. He has some sort of weird alien thing. I don't know. I'm a bum! Anyways, so, he dies. And the morgue guy is watching Frankenstein when the Doctor gets put in there. And so It's a dark and stormy night and he's watching Frankenstein. And then he hears a pounding from one of the morgue things. Guess who it is? It's the doctor! And he's younger! And we never see this regeneration again! He's shunned! So anyways, the doctor escapes Frankenstein style and goes around the hospital stealing clothes. Doctor Who, endorsing stealing. Okay, go and do it now, kids. Anyways, so the next morning, his doctor gets there, and essentially, she walks by him, and so he's fully clothed now. Except there's one thing, he has that little dead morgue hospital tag on his toe. So he follows her around trying to get her attention, and when she finally runs away from into her car, he takes the little thing that she was bugging around in him out because it got stuck in there. And so it proves to her that he's the guy who she operated on. Somehow he could have stuck that thing in there. Anyways, so she takes him to her house and gets some proper shoes. And also, earlier, the ambulance driver, Bruce, has a master up his sleeve. Do you know what the master does? The master, in his little slug form, goes into Bruce's mouth and possesses him. Possession. Okay, well, the master gets up the next morning and his wife and Bruce's wife gets up and he kills her. Mercilessly. So anyways, so he goes and finds the boy Chun-Li, who took the doctor to the hospital, and steals the doctor's stuff from him and takes him to the TARDIS, where he promises Chun-Li 5 bags of gold dust if he gets the doctor to come there so he can steal the doctor's regenerations. And he makes Chun-Li think the doctor is a bad guy. A bad guy. Who would have thought of that? Anyways, so he uses the Eye of Harmony, and Chun-Li, since for some reason only humans can open the Eye of Harmony. What happens if humans go extinct? Or they never existed? Time travel! Make it happen. So anyways, so they open the Eye of Harmony to see what the new doctor looks like and see what he's looking at. So the doctor covers his eyes. Don't blink. So anyways, he covers his eyes and essentially proceeds to tell Grace that the master is looking through his eyes to try and find where he is. The master can still hear what he's saying, so that's a dead giveaway about who he's with. But anyways, Grace calls an ambulance, thinking she's going insane. Valid reason too. I would think I'd be going insane if there was a guy who says he was dead and he can regenerate. But anyways, also, the big Eye of Harmony thing is breaking the universe. Why would that be installed in a TARDIS? Something to break the universe. That's stupid. But anyways, so to prove his point that the universe is just messing up, the doctor walks through glass like it's gelatin. So they get an ambulance, and the doctor, in order to save the universe, needs something from a beryllium clock. And so the ambulance that gets there, she asks the driver and the guy who's helping them to take them there. Guess who it is? Chun-Li and the master. Impeccable timing, guys. So anyways, the master is discovered and shoots out this bitum from his mouth. I don't know. That comes into play later, but anyways. They exit the ambulance and steal a bike from a police officer by offering him jelly babies. Epic. So anyways. So they ride off towards the area where the beryllium clock is, and guess who gets there first? The Master! And he brainwashes all of the guards that try and stop them. And so, the Doctor successfully gets the beryllium chip from the beryllium clock. It's only about this big. Couldn't he just make that on his own? But anyways. He's clearly got the skill for it, but anyways, he has this cool thing called the sonic screwdriver. That should be able to do it. But anyways, they try and escape. They reach the TARDIS. And, it turns out that thing that the Master sprayed on Grace was actually brain control stuff. And so, he now has Chung-Li and Grace take the Doctor to his allotted spot so the Master can get the Doctor's regenerations. And the Doctor manages to get Grace out of it. And he manages to kick the Master into the Eye of Harmony, killing him. And then he proceeds to save the universe from exploding, which already happened, like a minute before they finished. So he takes them back in time and stops the world from dying. He still gives Chung-Li the 5 bags of gold dust, and warns him to go to the Bahamas because next year will be a very bad gang war. That will kill him. So essentially, he says goodbye to Grace, and he flies off, never to be seen again until it turns out that the show gets continued by BBC. Go watch it, it's good. So anyways, I'm Dalyn D saying, change! Change! Come on, help a guy out, give me some change. See, that is an empty cup right there. Give me some change. Come on, help a guy out, give me some change. Come on! Change! Anyway, hopefully the government doesn't steal this phone from me, so I can continue making these reviews for you. I'm Dalyn D saying change.